Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Acura 2017 NSX in multiplayer. As many of you may know, I was given this car as a gift by Gameloft to do a couple projects for their channel. However, I managed to start up to 3 stars, collecting blueprints through the packs and through the event. And it's probably my favorite car in the game to drive. So it is at a rank of 2874 with a tuning of 9999 with all import parts maxed out except for one rare top speed import part that I just could not find anywhere. So that's why the rank is slightly lower than the maximum that it shows. Alright, so let's get to our very first race, which is on Rome. Now in this video, I will be showing you 9 of my closest and most intense races against other Acuras in my journey from 1700 to 1800 and beyond. Oh, and before I forget to mention, for some reason the sound did not record in these videos, so that is why it may seem a little bit more quiet than usual. So I would say probably my favorite thing about this car is that it has the best acceleration, definitely, of any car I've tested so far in Asphalt 9, and even though its speed is not especially great for its rank, it can get up to its speed very quickly, which is something a lot of cars may not be able to do. And I don't know how many of you were able to get the car in its event. I know not a whole lot of people were able to because it was pretty difficult. But if you did, definitely use it in this current multiplayer season because I believe it is the best car in this season. And you should be able to get to Legends League and pretty near the top of the leaderboard if you have this car. If you don't have this car, there are still some other cars that can reach Legends League in this season. I believe Freeze did it in his Hemi Scat Pack, the Challenger at 3 stars. And Ruben did it with his 3-star 911. I actually faced Ruben in a later race in this video in his 911, and he is an extremely good driver. So if you find him in multiplayer, watch out. I will put a link to his channel in the description. Someone in his team, Le Mans, or however you pronounce it, was in this race, and he was in a lower NSX. However, there was a 3199 NSX in that race as well. I believe that is a 4-star NSX, and that is the highest NSX I have faced this entire season. Most of the NSXs I faced were either 1-star or 2-star, so either 21 something or 24, 25-ish something. And the only reason I was able to 3-star my NSX was because in one of the 2 10 times packs that I bought for 750 tokens, I got the 1% jackpot of 15 NSX blueprints. So I'm definitely very thankful for that. In this race, we are facing 3 other Acura NSXs. That one that I went under and just landed on me is a 2886 one, so my tune, but with that one import part that I could not find. We also have a 2500 something one, who is Phoenix Robert. I faced him a few times, as well as a 2100. But even if you have a 2100 Acura, you're fairly likely to be able to make it to Legends League. Because honestly, the performance difference isn't a crazy amount. Like, for me, going from 1 star to 3 stars, my miles per hour increased by 7. So definitely not as much of a difference as you might think. So here I go a slightly faster route at the end, and thus managed to pull past Paris for the win. That's probably one of the closest races I've had all season. And wow, we also faced somebody from the elite team in this race. In this race, we are facing Phoenix Robert again on San Francisco, as well as Neoflix, who drives a 911 at 3-star like Ruben M. He's also a very good driver. So as I said earlier, Phoenix Robert is in a 25-something Acura, and I'm in a 28-something Acura. Now, in this race and other ones to come, you will see what I was talking about earlier, that the huge difference in car rank does not necessarily mean a huge difference in car performance. As you can see here, we're going along pretty close to the same speed. I mean, I'm catching up a little bit, but it's nothing crazy like you would see in Asphalt 8, with the ranks being crazily different. However, my car being purple and his car being red makes a big difference. You see, in Asphalt 9, cars that are purple go so much faster than those that are any other color, which is why I make all my cars purple. Just kidding. Never mind. I still think metallic purple is the best possible color for a car in Asphalt 9. It looks so nice, come on. So this route here, I believe, is the fastest way to get through here. You get up on top of the building, and then hopefully not miss that nitro bottle like I just did, but pick up as many nitro bottles as you can around this turn, and then shockwave out of it. Because that turn really makes your speed drop a lot, and as you can see, because I was able to shockwave out of it, I got back up to my top speed fairly quickly. And one good thing about the Acura above other cars is that it reaches its top speed quicker than most other ones because of really good acceleration. I said something like that earlier, but it really helps more than just at the beginning of a race. It also helps around turns. And in case anybody doesn't know, just click race details if you want to see the rank of the cars you've faced. Alright, so in this race we are facing Phoenix again, as well as another Acura that's at 2600 something rating. Probably a 3-star one that has not upgraded a whole lot. And I would like to point out that upgrades on this car did get quite expensive. And it was only thanks to the credit cups that happen every day, I think, that I was able to actually pay for it. Because there were some upgrades, level 9 upgrades, got fairly close to 100,000. They were like 87,000 or something. And import parts, the rare ones, 3 of which I put on each of the ones except top speed, which I just have 2, they were 30,000 apiece. And you know, even though money is not especially hard to come by in Asphalt 9, you can't farm. So I'm still very glad for those credit cups, and if you have been missing them, don't. At least play that each day so that you can afford upgrades for these cars. And be sure to always play the daily car loot, because you'll get yourself a free Vulcan and a free Centenario in, like, a month or 2 or whatever if you just play it every day, even sooner if you get them in boxes. Now, I haven't exactly been living by that. I haven't played every day, mainly because I've been quite busy recently, and that's why I have the Acura and P1, but no Vulcan, which is very unusual. But don't worry, I should be getting it sometime soon, hopefully. So we are coming up to the end of this race. I shockwave around the final turn and take the victory, but barely, as you can see. I mean, he was right there behind me. These races with Acuras of any rank, pretty much, are always very close. So, in this race, we come across a fellow Purple Team member whose name is Rev Airborne Legend, or Rohan Doobie, as those of you on Purple Team might know him as. This was quite a nice race. We've pretty much had a silent agreement among ourselves to not try to 360 each other when we meet each other in multiplayer. So yeah, clean races against team members are always very fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed this race. And actually, I don't know if you saw it, at the end of the last race, I had gotten to 1795 rating. Now, a couple seasons ago, the requirements for Legends League were put up from 1600 to 1800, which makes it definitely harder to get there. And I've not been able to reach 1800 rating before. Now, this is pretty interesting, because my P1, while being 200 to 300 ranks lower than this car, goes 20 miles per hour faster. And you might think, oh, well, the P1 would just kill this car. However, you cannot use the P1 in this season. The best car is the Acura 2017 NSX. And this car starts up so much faster and can get to its top speed more often than the P1 can. Because while the P1 is very fast and a very powerful car, it just takes a while to get up to its top speed. This car doesn't have this problem, and thus it is very easy to drive, and I believe probably easier to get to Legends League in. We'll have to see though when we face some P1s, hopefully next season. If in fact the P1 and Acura seem to have fairly close to the same level of proficiency, even though one is heavily top speed biased and one is heavily acceleration biased, I may make a test between the two cars. Even though they're not exactly close to the same rank, I still think that would be pretty interesting. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Would you like me to do tests between cars in Asphalt 9? Obviously, it's going to be a while before I get a lot of cars completely maxed out, but even if they're not maxed out, I still think it would be pretty cool doing them at common tunes you might see in multiplayer. So for those of you who are watching this and wondering, why haven't I really made many Asphalt 8 kind of multiplayer videos in a while, I'll be honest here, I have been having quite a lot more fun in Asphalt 9 than in Asphalt 8 recently. I don't exactly know why, but I just feel there's less of a grind in Asphalt 9, you know, farming and all that stuff. Like with the new update, the 720S is coming out. I'm going to have to farm 1 to 2 million to be able to win that car. And I've received word recently that the Porsche Carrera GT has token upgrades and it's a championship, so we cannot get any free upgrades for it. So that's a bit of a bummer. And Asphalt 9 doesn't really have that kind of pressure, you might say, on me. So that's honestly why I've been doing more Asphalt 9 videos recently. I do have recorded races in, say, the Fenner that I'm going to be uploading at some point. I'm going to be testing the Zenvo TS1, so don't worry about Asphalt 8 leaving. Just know that they may be in slightly less amount than Asphalt 9. That's just how I feel about the games at the current time. So in this race, we faced Yudin Naganga, who I actually know from, I don't know if it's Purple Team or the Asphalt community, but yeah, I've raced him quite a few times. He's also quite a good driver. Alright, so here's the race I was talking about earlier, in which we face Ruben M. Now, he is not in that Acura there. He is in the Porsche 911, which is just behind me. Now, the thing about the Porsche 911, it has quite good speed for its rank. However, that car has a problem of not being able to get up to its speed very quickly at all. It has an acceleration problem once you get to a certain speed. I've driven it quite a bit, not in multiplayer, but I've noticed it in events, and it can be quite annoying. However, he seems to have learned how to drive it very well. He managed to make it to Legends League in that car, so you can definitely see that even in this season, you don't need an Acura to get to Legends League. It just makes it easier. And I'm pretty sure this is only going to be for one season. It's not going to be Acura all day, every day. Like, you know, they're probably going to have different cars each season be the top cars, because that seems to be what has happened so far. I'm expecting to see probably the P1 again there next season. Who knows? We may get some other cars. Maybe we have another themed kind of one with another new car. I don't know, but I expect it to be different each season a lot of the time, especially when there's new cars added. Alright, so we are coming up to the end of this battle with Ruben M, and even in his Porsche 911, he was not that very far behind, as you could tell, and that 2100 NSX came in last. In Asphalt 9, skill and knowledge of the tracks and the nitro management and everything like that can really make a big difference. Even more so a lot of the time than the car's performance, because as I said, the performance doesn't differ greatly between ranks, and since so many little things you do can greatly increase or decrease the car's speed and momentum and things like that, that ultimately is what determines who wins a race, in my opinion. Because in my 1645 Challenger, I beat 3 Vulcans that were over 2100 rating, one of them at 2700, and he came in third, not even second. So you can see, rank and tuning is not like the ultimate decider of who wins like it is in Asphalt 8. I really do think Asphalt 9 brings skill more into the equation. Little side note, I've gotten some comments about people asking, why do I go this route? Well, simply because it is faster than the left route, and it's really weird too. It seems like not many people have figured this out. Most people go left back there, and it is confirmed slower. So many times I've passed people because I've gone right, and they've gone left, and that has allowed me to win sometimes. So yes, always go the right route there, and you can have a fairly good chance of passing some people. So we win this race with, guess what, a Porsche 911 right behind us, just above 2000 rating. The 2 Acura NSXs came in 3rd and 4th. I may have to test this Porsche in multiplayer and see if it really is that great of a car, or if these people are just driving really well. Now for our final race in the video, which takes place against a Challenger as well as another Acura NSX. So I guess in this race I'll give my finishing thoughts about this car. It's, well, in the season, the king of multiplayer. However, in general, it just is a very good car. It gets up to speed quickly. It is very fun to drive. So if you picked it up, even in seasons where it may not be the king, it still is likely going to do quite well. However, on tracks that are more top speed based, I can't think of a specific one right now, but on ones like those, something with a higher top speed, like, say, a Vulcan or a P1 or any of those other cars, would probably be better. But for things like Rome, this car does extremely well, because Rome is one of those really twisty ones that relies on good acceleration and handling to get through it quickly. That is the reason that the Shelby GT350R is worse than the Hemi on all tracks except for Rome, I believe. For anyone who may not know or just hasn't seen it yet, I created an Acura 2017 NSX preview for Gameloft's channel. It's up there right now if you are interested in seeing that. Alright, so we're rounding the final turn in the final race using our final shockwave and then going up our final barrel roll to cross our final finish line of the final race in this video. That was a lot of final. So in this race, we beat a 2500 ranked NSX as well as a 2100 Challenger Hemi Scat Pack, which, as I said, Freeze got to Legends League in, or at least very close to it. Oh, and one last final note, multiplayer is the fastest way to gain reputation points. So we come out to rating 1863 and position 1 on the leaderboard. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like this video if you've enjoyed and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 and 9 content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!